Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-founders and co-executive directors of the Ridge Project and the creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior, someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to fight for their legacy, to bring healing, to bring reconciliation, to bring empowerment to their family.
Ron and I learned these principles the hard way. Ron did 15 years in prison while the kids and I did the time on the outside. And we learned what it meant to overcome every obstacle, build a strong, healthy, thriving family. And now our passion is to help other people coming behind us.
You know, one of the things that we had to really come to grips with is that we didn't know anything.
Nothing.
You know, we're living life one day at a time, one check at a time, from welfare to a job to getting fired and all these things. We're living this cycle of a self-destruction. We were on a path of self-destruction. But the worst thing about it is, we didn't even know it.
Yes, and so we just felt like life just happened to us. And we woke up one day and realized that we could create the life we wanted to have. Life didn't have to happen to us, that we were actually empowered to make a difference in our family, even in the midst of the incarceration. So maybe your lady isn't with you anymore, but you still have children looking to you. This is still for you.
Now, if you don't have any kids out there and you happen to be watching this show, listen. If you're a TYRO, if you're willing for a change, this is the show you want to watch. We're going to keep it real. We're not sugarcoating anything. This is real life. This is us. You see us, this is what you get.
Right.
We've been there. We've done that. We struggled. We won. We lost. And guess what? We love our lives. Why? Yes. Because we have the ability to dream.
We know that failure is not final and failure is not fatal. Then instead, every time we fail, we learn something and then we grow, and then the next time we know what to do. And so we're going to share our wisdom, the things that we know through our own personal experience with you, so that you can overcome everything in front of you and you can achieve your greatest dreams.
You know, one of the things that I had to really come to grips with, that life is not just about me.
He did have to learn that.
You know, I had to learn that, because it was always about me.
It was.
Whatever Cathy was thinking about doing, whatever she said she was going to do, and whatever she wasn't going to do, guess what? I'm involved.
Right.
And it better involve me, and it better revolve around me.
And no matter what happened in his world around him, he always thought it was all about him.
All about me.
But you know, today we're going to share a really important thing, and it's not what you think it is. We're going to talk about faith today. Where is your faith? Where is your foundation? And so in order to really figure out what it is we're talking about, you're going to have to stay tuned.
So stay tuned. You don't want to miss this, and we will be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about the subject, faith. We're going to tackle a word that has a lot of connotations with it.
Yep.
Right? But we want to give you what we're talking about.
Yeah, some negative, some positive, but I can almost guarantee that most of you, when I said the word faith, you're thinking, oh, it's about religion. No, it's not. Surprise!
We're not talking about religion. We're talking about your moral compass. We're talking about your convictions, your BS.
Right, belief system, BS, write that down. What is my BS? What's your belief system, your foundation, right? What are your values? What are the morals by which your foundation is built, upon which you make all of your decisions in life?
What is your true north? What is the compass that guides you to do the right thing when? Always.
Because if your belief system, if your moral compass, if your values and your foundation is faulty, think about that. If you build a house and you know you're building it right on a fault line, and a fault line is where what? The potential for earthquakes is, and you say, you know what? I believe that this is not gonna affect it. I'm gonna build my house anyway. When the earthquake comes, you're gonna lose everything. So if your faith is misplaced, and your foundation is on faulty ground, then you are never going to become successful. So you have to examine your values and your morals to know that your foundation is firm.
So if you built it on the fault line and you tell yourself everything's gonna be okay, we call that denial.
That's right.
You know, so be real about, okay, you know what, I'm building my faith. You know what, say you have an addiction to gambling. And you're believing that gambling is going to bring financial stability to you.
You don't have to work hard. You don't have to get a job. You don't have to do anything. You're just going to keep gambling, and somehow you're going to hit it big, and you're going to be a millionaire. Okay, your foundation, you have built that foundation on a huge fault line.
Right? And we know a lot of people who have built their foundations on sand, on shaky ground. And when the storm comes and takes it out, they're surprised. I don't know why this happened. I said, dude, your foundation was built on lies. Your foundation was built on something that wasn't true or absolute. Your foundation was built on a make-believe scenario. Right?
So when we say faith, we're talking about understanding the difference between truth and denial. Because if your faith is misplaced in something that is not true, that is not real, not realistic, then your faith is faulty. And if your faith is placed in something that is true, that is solid, that you say, you know what, I can build a foundation here, and I know that foundation is going to be a place where I can raise my family, build a legacy, my children are going to be safe, my reputation is going to be safe, and I'm going to be able to look back to my values and morals and know that they are not going to let me down. I'm going to be able to make decisions that are going to be effective and efficient.
You know, one of the greatest things about the word faith, you can take that as an acronym, FAITH, families and inmates, right? Together in harmony, right? Your foundation, you want to build harmony, part of your foundation, to where you get visits, you get phone calls, you're not always bickering and fighting. Because if all you guys are doing is fighting on visits, bickering at phone calls, and you're demanding, and you're always demanding something from your people when you call or you see them, man, I'm going to question your foundation. I'm going to question your faith, your belief. And what are you believing in? That they owe you something?
Right.
Is that your belief system, that every time you see them, you have to ask them for something?
So I love that, the acronym. Families and inmates together in harmony. I know you don't like to be called inmates. I don't even like to use the word inmates, but that's a great acronym to say what is creating harmony in your life, what's building that connection between you and your family, and establishing you as a leader for your children, where they are looking up to you with honor and respect and wanting to be proud of you and being able to be proud of you. Because if your faith, if your belief system is faulty, then your children can't be proud of you. Your children can walk in shame and embarrassment and hope that nobody finds out, that you're their dad. You don't want that life.
You know, there's a thing out there, and this is so true, and it's a hard truth for all of us to hear, right? If you see somebody's children who are just acting amok, right? They're uncontrollable, always in trouble, don't look at the children for the answer why they're doing that. Look to the parents, because that's what they always say. Well, let's go see what's going on with the parents, because they're just copying or mimicking what they're experiencing, right? Attitudes, joyfulness, sorrowfulness. What is it? When you see children that are thriving, that are doing well in school, that are excelling in life, even as children, right? Guess what? They're quick to give the honor and praise to the parents, right? But guess what? The same thing works with when the children are in trouble all the time, when they're not doing so well. Let's go look at the parents. What's going on? Because then that's where we can help bring a solid foundation. Get mom and dad together, get them in order.
Yep.
Watch it be a ripple effect.
But if you don't know what your values are and you haven't identified what your morals are and you don't really know what it is that guides your decisions, you're going to be tossed to and fro across your entire life and you're going to make more mistakes than you are going to make things right. But when you know, okay, this is what I value, this is my belief system, these are my morals, then you can take every decision back to that and you can know that through every decision, it's going to move you closer to the life you want.
So this is the litmus test.
Yes, this is what we're talking about when we say the word faith. Where are you placing your faith and your trust and your hope to have a better future?
So when we come back, we're going to talk about why this is really important. So you don't want to miss this, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And today we're talking about faith.
You know, when you think about the acronym that we gave earlier, you know, family and inmates together in harmony, you know, that's one of the goals of a father. That's what you're in there. You know, the only thing you have left, you know, what's that anchor or that line of hope, that rope that has been tossed to you? You're in prison and you're holding on to that last thread of hope. Sometimes some of the men in there right now, maybe you don't have an anchor. Maybe there's nothing there that you can cling to because we burnt the bridges. You burnt the bridges so bad that there's nobody on the other end. But we want to encourage you, hope, faith. Have the faith in you that as you begin to change, that you begin to really adapt and learn and grow in the penitentiary setting, that you're going to attract other people and maybe your old family members that might have cut you off because of the bridges that you burned or broke, right? But faith will ignite hope in others because they see you growing. That's powerful. Faith,
absolutely.
When you have that true North Star and you're doing the right thing, win always. When you're not letting your circumstances dictate how you react, you now respond to them in a healthy way, it will activate hope in others.
And as you begin to live your life based on a solid foundation of faith, right? Knowing what you believe, knowing what your morals are, what your values are, what your moral compass is, right? The things you want to accomplish, and you are really looking at every decision based upon that, it will bring harmony, peace, joy, and hope into all of your surroundings, into your whole family. And so if you don't believe in anything and you don't know what you believe, again, it doesn't, as people come into your life, they're going to be able to influence you very easily, and you're going to make a lot of wrong choices. And those wrong choices end up with consequences. But guess what? When you know what you believe and you filter those decisions through that belief system, through all of your BS, your belief system, and you can make a choice and a decision based upon what you honestly believe, then the consequences are going to be positive. They're going to establish a legacy for you that you can actually be proud of, and your children are going to be proud of you. And then you're creating a foundation for them and encouraging them, hey, what do you really believe? What are the things that are going to stand the test of time, so that as you filter your decision making through that, you know what the outcome is going to be.
Are you courageous? Are you ready for this? Because you've been believing whatever your belief system was that got you incarcerated, it didn't work.
Right.
It wasn't good. It was on faulty ground. It was on that fault line. Your whole life was built upon a lie. Mm-hmm. I don't care. You're in prison.
Right.
I was in prison. Right. My belief system was the way I was thinking about life. Right. I had to examine myself daily to see, okay, what's my BS today? Is it stink? Does my BS stink? Is my thinking, do I have that stinking thinking attitude?
Right.
I had to change everything about me because why? I didn't know how to think for myself.
You didn't know what you believed.
I didn't have any belief. I just went with the grain of, the wind blows, I went. Right?
And the wind blew us right into prison.
Oh my goodness.
And on welfare.
So
right?
if you're there, if you're now waking up, if you're really hearing what I'm saying to you, have the courage to stand up and say, you know what? I want to change the way I think.
Right.
I want to change my attitude about how I see other people. I want to walk with honor and integrity.
I want to know what I believe. I want to be able to say this sentence. I know what I believe. I know what I believe. And so that's where your faith is. Your faith comes in knowing what you believe.
So if you always are saying, you know what, they will never come and see me. You know what, I believe that they'll never send me money. I believe that, and you're speaking another affirmation.
I got nowhere to go when I go home. I don't even have opportunity.
You're going to create that experience because you're speaking it.
Right. If you believe the whole world is out to get you, and no matter what you do, you're never going to make it, then your faith is misplaced. You have built your house and set your foundation, put your stake in the ground along a fault line. Come on. Now let's move off that fault line and say, you know what? What is my belief system? What do I believe is true? What is my morals? What are my convictions? Because as you do that, now you have the opportunity to build the life that you've always wanted.
Why is this important?
To build a legacy for your kids.
That's it. Why is this important? Because your children are counting on you to build a foundation while you're there. Listen, people already know that your word is doo-doo.
Right. Or was doo-doo.
And you got to reinvent yourself. You got to rebuild your reputation. What is your faith standing? You know what? My faith is an honor, good character, somebody worth following.
Yes.
And when you begin to walk this out in penitentiary and you begin to practice this new way of thinking and new way of living, you will carry that into into the streets. You will carry that into your family. And they might not recognize you right away. They may be skeptics, right? They may sit back and say, okay, let me see if who he is real.
But that's okay, because you will know was, is, and will be. This is who I was, who I used to be. When my foundation was faulty, I didn't know what I believed. This is who I am right now, and I'm figuring out what I believe. And so I can make every decision based on what I want, so that I know who I will be and can be. So now if who you were is all that you ever strive to be, is the person you were in the past, and you're lamenting the past and you're letting that define you, again, I'm going to keep saying it. Your foundation is built on a fault line.
It's time to get busy. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to build something solid that not only can you stand on it, but your children can stand on it for generations to come.
So we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to you about how. How can you identify what your belief system is and build a strong foundation for the rest of your life?
So you don't want to miss this, so we'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
Today we're talking about faith. How do you activate faith inside you when maybe you've been so discouraged about life and everything has come at you in such a hard way that has hurt you, that maybe you don't believe in nobody, you don't believe in anything, you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in nothing that is good can happen to you.
So that means, as you've heard us say over and over again, that your faith, that your foundation is built upon a fault line. And so when we talk about faith, we're not talking about religion. We're talking about your morals, your values, right?
Your belief system.
Yes, your belief system that causes you to make bad choices or good choices.
So right now we want to give you 3 steps, and they're powerful steps on how you can begin to really implement and grow in a new belief system, and really look at yourself in a new light.
Yeah.
Look at yourself in a way that, you know what, I am valuable. This is belief system, right? I am worthy. You know what, I deserve some good things, and I'm willing to work hard to get them.
And so as you establish a new foundation of faith, it means that you have hope for the future, that you know what, you're igniting hopefulness to be able to accomplish something better in the future than what you did in the past.
Your faith will ignite a better tomorrow.
Yeah. So number one, this is really important, is identify and write down your old code.
Now, what is that?
What do we mean by that?
Well, it's a good question, Cathy. What do we mean by that? Your old code. Now, if you were in a gang life, if you were a spousal abuser, if it was all about you, my way or the highway, I came in alone and I'm going home alone. If that was your old code, write that down, whatever it was.
That means the standard by which you measured success, the standard by which you lived your life. I'm going to get mine. It's all about me. Everybody owes me something. Selfishness, self-inflicted wounds, right?
Friendly fire.
Yeah, whatever it was, the old code that got you to the place you are. What did you use to live your life? Maybe you're still living your life by that. But what was your old code, the belief system that is creating chaos and brokenness in your life? Write that down.
Write down what you used to believe in. What was your faith? What did you put your trust in?
Yeah.
Right? Because whatever it was, it let you down.
Right.
Write it down. Second thing is, now we want you to, after you do that, write down a new code, a new way of thinking, a new way of living.
So what do you want? So maybe it's like in the past, I was a liar, I was a cheater. My new code is, I'm honest. I'm trustworthy. I can be depended upon to do what I say I will do. I'm a good husband, I'm a good father, or I'm a good employee. Whatever those things are, your new code of living, right? The things in which, every decision I make, I can take it through this code, my belief system. I can have faith that this is going to get me where I want to go.
But you got to write it down, because if you don't write it down, you'll still be asking yourself, what do I believe in?
Right.
Take it from in here, and put it on paper so you can see it, right? So, and then start proclaiming it, start standing on it. Build your foundation on the truth, the new truth that you're willing to stand on, right? I am honest. I am a man of good character. I can be taken at my word.
Now, the thing is, once you write down this new code, you're going to keep coming back to it. So you're going to continue to improve it and align it a little bit more and say, wow, you know what? Let me add this word. Let me take out that word. Let me refine it more, because you're going to become more and more confident in what you believe. You're going to say, I know what I believe.
And this is powerful. This is what you talk about being set free.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So now the third thing is, after you do this and after you really come to a place of where, you know what, this is what I believe, and it's not arrogance.
Right. It's
We're not talking
confidence.
about it. It's confidence, right? Then you want to share this with your family. You want to let them know, I want you to know my new belief system. I want you to know my new code of honor, that which I stand on. I want you to know my true north. And then you share with them, guess what? Because you know what? I used to look like this.
Right.
This is what I used to practice. This is what I used to believe in. Now,
and they're not going to be shocked, because you know how people know what your code is? By watching how you live your life. They know where you put your faith. If all your faith is in money, all your faith is in women, booze, drugs, whatever it is, they know by watching how you live your life. And so as you develop your new code, when you share that with people, they should know that by how you live your life. The things you really believe in, you live up to. The things that are really valuable to you, you make time to do and time for.
So the proof is in the what? The proof is in the pudding. When the rubber meets the road, can they say, wow, that is honor. That is a man of integrity. That is my dad, and I'm proud of him because he no longer lies, cheats, steals, or does all those negative behaviors.
Right. That now because my dad believes this, you know what? I believe this too, because I've watched this work out in his life and has created success. So now that you're helping your children forge their own belief system. And when somebody is confident and they know what they believe, they can walk through life and face every challenge and every adversity and still have the courage to face it and overcome it. When you don't know what you believe, when you're going to still be living by the old code and not knowing really what your foundation is, you're going to be tossed to and fro, and you're going to be constantly self-doubt. You cannot have self-esteem. You cannot have self-confidence without knowing what you believe.
You know, when you think about what you stand for, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything.
So if your foundation is faulty, you don't know what you believe, you don't know what you stand for, hear that. That's really deep. You will fall for anything, any lie, any deception, any plot, right? That somebody brings to you and says, hey, let's do this. Oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea, because you don't have a filter to take it through. And so your faith in believing and knowing what is right and true will help you filter your decision making and establish a path of honor, integrity, and righteousness for your family for generations to come.
Love yourself enough to do the right thing. Love yourself enough to examine yourself. Love your family enough to say, you know what? I need to change. I need to change the way I think. I need to change my my BS, because if I stay on this track, if I stay here, I'm taking my family down with me.
Yep.
Right? But here's an opportunity to change your trajectory.
So we're gonna take a pause, take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna give you a few final words before we wrap it up for the day. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we have really dived deep into the word faith. You know, family and inmates together in harmony. How do you create a trajectory towards success for your family?
How do you create harmony? How do you ensure that you're on the right path and that your belief system aligns with your goals and your desires for the future? And so you really need to take a step back. We gave you those 3 steps. They work. Trust us. We've used them, and tens of thousands of people before you have used them.
So practice makes permanent. You gotta write down your old code. You gotta look at it. You gotta examine yourself, see where you're at, so you never return back to that place, right? You want a new you. You want a new family, right? The family you have right now, they have the potential to outpace you.
Right.
But Dad, if you're not willing to do whatever it takes to get your family to rise up, despite the circumstances they're in right now, man, you will always be leading them on a path to self-destruction.
Remember, you have to know what it is you believe, because once you identify what you believe, then every decision becomes a lot easier to make. It's not a big, what should I do? What should I do? It's like, okay, what should I do? Let me take it back to my belief system. Does it align with what I believe, what I hold firm and true to me, my virtues, my morals, my values? If it does, then do it. And if it doesn't, don't do it.
So if it doesn't bring honor to you, your family, or those that are in your sphere of influence, don't do it. That's your litmus test. If it doesn't bring honor to your new name, to your new you, you're telling everybody in prison, I've changed, I'm never coming back to this, but are you putting in the tools, the practice it's gonna take to never experience penitentiary again?
So as you apply this and you begin to see the transformation in your family, what that will do is create a more solid foundation, because your faith will grow over time of, wow, this is what I believe in and this is right. It's producing what I want to see produced in my life. And so then that solidifies your faith upon which you're gonna stand.
You can do this, Dad. You can do this one day at a time. Your family is not only counting on you, they're demanding it, right? They're demanding you to come out better, stronger, more equipped, a free thinker, somebody who's not letting drugs or alcohol or anything influence the way they think, because now you're sober and you can see life clearly as it is.
We want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey as you work towards becoming the best you can be and the best dad you can possibly be for your kids.
So thank you for joining us today on TYRO TV. Always remember that we are rooting for you.